Hello, this is Adam's Beanstock talking about Passacaglia, the Passacaglia Passacaglia. This is the famous Passacaglia by Heinrich Franz. He's got another name there, Bieber. Not just, don't get him muddled up with Justin Bieber. But the Passacaglia form is the most well-used form throughout the history of music. Going from very early Renaissance pop music right through to Rococo, classical, romantic, going on to contemporary music and even pop music. It resonates through, and Passacaglia is a posh name. It's Italian, obviously, because it was used in Italian opera as a repeating bass figure. With just a few notes, and of course with the bass figure you've got to have the chords as well, the continuo part. So this Passacaglia is just based on 4 notes. It's quite a simple one, just a simple bass, but I think the English translation, that would be ground bass, I think they call it, or I think in modern contemporary pop music they call it a riff. It's exactly the same thing you get on a bass guitar. Going all the way through, and with this Passacaglia, wherever you are in the music, whatever phrase it is, it's always there. It's always present. It's always very consistent. It may be in the as a violin in the bass part, or might be in the top part, or it's obviously an octave higher, but it's just those same notes actually go all the way through, and I've checked it and analysed it, and then I think through learning it, unfortunately, my previous videos, well, I think the parodies made a point, because as you know from the last video, I can't play it because I've got absolutely rubbish technique in playing it, but I'm trying to come to terms with it, and it's bringing out this Passacaglia theme. It is the most important part, and the other is decoration, and it is important, but mustn't be stumped by it. And I think the way to work on this, instead of starting at the beginning, it's where everybody knows, because everyone when they look at the YouTube video, they think, oh, we're listening to that. You're listening to the first seconds into a minute, and then they switch off. Then you've got a view. So you might do that first part absolutely perfectly, and think, oh, then they start you playing a few bum notes, and it sounds awful. Yeah, we're turning off. But that's. So it's a misconception. You can play the first part really well, because I think that's the expanse of people's way they watch videos on YouTube. It's and I do it myself. You're flicking through it, and you're lucky if you actually listen to up to a minute. If you're lucky of a YouTube clip, and this is 7-8 minutes long. It can be 9 or 10 minutes long. So I would find if it's not someone really good and famous playing it, they wouldn't listen to it all the way through. And I was guaranteed that that the views I've got are probably based on those first few bars. And as I say, I got all those views for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but this is the mystery of what projection of YouTube is all about. So anyway, so sorry being distracted, but these 4 notes are basically 4 notes. And those 4 notes are the crux of the backbone of the whole piece. And the other important thing crossing string is the last chord, which is the only bit that's different, which is instead of being in G minor, it's in G major. You've got a tierce piccati and 1/3. But with the Baroque bow is I think you've got to. I think the first you should start from the end and go backwards on this one. So you start the last few bars to learn those thoroughly, because there's this magical moment. See on if you were plucking that string, hear the resonance. All the strings are sounding together, and on the Baroque violin, you got far more resonance than you had on a modern violin. I know I'm in a quite echoey room here, and it does help a bit. But because as you're gliding across the strings across the bridge, but you know, depending how you do it, you should still hear all the notes being played. I can still hear it. It might not come over on the mic, but I can still hear the D and the G string resonating. They were still vibrating, even though I pulled the bow across. It's not quite as you were plucking, you know, brushing with your finger. It's very delicate, but you know, with Baroque style, there's because I hate the word double stopping. I think double stopping, it's intimidating. It's gives you the wrong impression of what it actually is. You're playing two notes at the same time. Yes, but they are chords, they harmony, they're passing notes. And I think you have got to, if you're doing a melodic instrument like the violin, I think you ought to study the piano and play it on the piano to see what it actually sounds like, to understand what the harmony you're implying, what you're doing. And because often when you see a piece of music such as this, it's very intimidating. It looks absolutely awful. A lot of black areas of all these notes. You've got to sort them all out. And this is the idea of my parodies, because literally when you're doing these four notes, you've got G minor, and then the F, and then the E flat, and then the D. And they're basically arpeggios, but they are chords you can play. So they're chords, two-note chords, and this is what it's all about. And I would just like to. I think we're coming up for 8 minutes now, so I'm going to be studying and relearning this, and bearing that in mind, and hopefully that will improve my knowledge of it, because you know, you've got places like crossing the strings here, because you've got the tune. It's exactly the same as the octave below, then it goes. And you think, where's the Passacaglia? Because you're preoccupied with all the crossing harmonies and you're actually forgetting where the actual important notes are. Is these. You might be confused. Oh, wait, is it coming in the bass yet? No, it doesn't. It doesn't come in the bass until you come up to the cadence where the adagio is. It still carries on from the top. The melody's on the top. So. And then there is down on the bass. And that's the only different part. You come on to this cadence on the adagio. And then it comes to recapitulates onto the. And then they got them on the bass here. Well, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I need to practice it. But the trouble is, yeah, as I say, it still comes down to this. You come back, make sure that is solidly there, that thing. And I won't take any more of your time. I come out to nearly 11 minutes now, so well, 12 minutes. I'm going to go away and really rethink this and try and practice it. I know my technique is not really up to it, but I do love this piece. And if anybody's got any feedback on how I should practice it, and of course, there's a lovely bit here. It goes. It's variation. It's almost folk like that. This triplet. Well, it's not really a triplet. It's if you're playing Irish. As you know, you've got to be totally relaxed. And I'm not doing it properly, but it's just got to come because the wrist has got to be so. It's just doing that particular note. Anyway, I'll sign off for now.